Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football back here at the Lone Star Coaches Clinic here with the head coach of the Foster Falcons, Coach Shaun McDowell, our good friend. Coach, it's good to hang out with you again.
Yes, sir. Great to see you.
All right, Coach. Obviously, Lone Star Clinic. It's one of the best clinics in the winter circuit for sure. A lot of great coaches, great speakers from all over the state. You know, I've seen coaches from the Rio Grande Valley to West Texas to the Metroplex, East Texas, all over. Why is this clinic such a good clinic?
It's a great location, number one, and Coach Zerline and them do a great job of getting just really outstanding speakers on the collegiate level and high school. It's a great place to network. I've been going here for like at least 15 years. I look forward to it every year. We put it on our calendar early. It's just a great place to come network, learn some ball, and really just hone back in and kind of recenter on the focus of football.
Yeah, I saw McCaig running around here earlier. He's like a celebrity around here now. That guy's been around, hasn't he?
Yeah, I love him, but I try to avoid him as much as I can.
All right, now last year, tell the folks a little story. At 7-on-7 last year, Max and I were on our golf cart. We pulled up next to you because you were monitoring your field. Because you're on the state. For those who don't know, Coach McDowell's on the state 7-on-7 board. You were monitoring your field, and your kids were out there playing, and we were talking about your kids.
Right.
And you were telling us, oh, I got a lot of puppies out there, a lot of youngsters, and they're got to learn on the fly. And you could see it even 7-on-7. One game, they look like world beaters.
Right.
Next game, they didn't look so good.
Right.
Which is common for when you're having a lot of young kids. And even you told us, hey, we're early in the year, it's going to be a little ugly, going to not be pretty. Hopefully, I think we got a chance to be really good. And you were right. I mean, by the end of the year, you guys were knocking on the door to winning a regional title. Your kids have grown up now. You're going to have a lot of kids back. How excited are you for the 2019 season?
Yeah, we're really excited. I mean, we literally got better every week last year, and it was unbelievable to see our growth. And our maturity at this point of the season is leaps and bounds what it was last year. We're a little bit older team, a little bit more experienced. I mean, they played, 14 games last year. We have, everything starts with Dot Nwankwo, who's played like 44 games in his career. He started for us since he was a freshman. I mean, just our work ethic in the weight room. A lot of guys, majority of our team's doing extra sports like baseball, wrestling, basketball, track. So we're just really excited about what we're seeing. If we have that work ethic, then it means that we got a chance to be really good next year.
Yeah, I saw you guys in the 4th round. I'm not banned or anything, am I? Because, I mean, I'm not banned, right?
Never, never. We want you here with us as much as we can get you.
But so because you had such a good run, you got that 4. How big was that 4 extra weeks of practice for some of your young kids? I mean, that's got to be a huge program builder when you bring those sub-varsity kids up. They're getting that extra time in practice. I mean, that's got to be big just to build that depth, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you think about just our young kids being able, the last 3 years being semifinals in 2016, state quarters in 17, and the state quarters again. Not just playing those games, but those practices. So we've almost played and practiced an extra 2 seasons compared to that. And that's to be a big-time program and play championship-level football. That's what you have to do. So we're getting to that level where it's an expectation to play at Thanksgiving and to play for Christmas and be upset when we don't get to play at Christmas now.
Is there any worry because you guys have had such good runs that your kids get a little complacent, or do you and your staff make sure that doesn't happen, that there's still goals in front of us and we're not happy? I mean, 4th round is great, but I know you're not satisfied with that, are you?
Yeah, no, 4th round, we tell them 4th round ain't good enough. Just like if we were fortunate to win a state championship, which we never have yet, that wouldn't be good enough. 1 ain't good enough. It's kind of like that's what we do. We take it week to week, 1-0 every game, every week. Nothing's ever good enough, and we praise them, but, there's always more that we can do, and so we have that mentality with that. We're just going to go to work every day and see what happens.
All right, now final question for you. 7-on-7, you're on the state 7-on-7 board, and there's some big changes this year, mainly with the first off, the expansion of the Division III, which I thought was a huge success last year. Every small school coach I talked to loved it. I'm assuming you guys got that same feedback with the expansion of Division III?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's such a gap between, the 4As and the 3As and 2As. We need, and the demand, believe it or not, is like 3A Division II and down. So we want to make sure that we can cater to the demand. So it's really, we're seeing an influx of the smaller schools to be able to make a Division III, be able to have those 32 teams go to the state tournament. It's almost as much as the 5A and 6A Division I demand to play 7-on-7. So it's really promising. It's such a big game, and we've been doing it for 20+ years now. I'm really excited about the direction we're going.
How cool is it? I always think it's awesome when those real small schools come to state 7-on-7 and just their eyes. I mean, it's such a cool experience. And those kids and the fans, they seem super appreciative, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm a Division I coach as far as like being a 5A, 6A coach, but my favorite part of the state tournament 7-on-7 is Division II, Division III. The communities that come out They play hard. They want to be there. You see great sportsmanship. You see really a lot of community support, and it's my favorite day and a half there, to be honest with you, until the big boys come, and it kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. But it's a pretty cool deal, and you get to see some teams like Salina that you don't get to see very often.
Gunner or Falls City, right?
Yeah, just some really cool teams, some historic teams, and you're like, wow, it's pretty cool.
All right, now final question. The other change was the addition of the soft shell helmet rule. I think it's a great thing for safety. Obviously, there was a serious injury last year. I know you guys were really concerned about it and wanted to take some steps. What went into that decision? I know there's concerns about the cost, but just kind of talk about that cost benefit that you guys talked about in your board meeting.
Sure. Our primary focus has always been safety. So the last few years of the state tournament, they've been given the unequal headbands, but it hasn't been regulated in SQTs. And we've always didn't want to be in the helmet business, but safety's been a priority. I would say for the last 8 years, it's been, are we going to wear helmets? Are we not going to wear helmets? How's this going to work? Because, with the UIL rules and everything. But it just became a no-brainer. If the technology is there and the resources are there, it's an important part of what we do as a football culture and community. So we decided to go ahead and make it recommended for this year. But if you make the state tournament, it'll be mandatory to wear the soft shell helmet. And then in 2020, it's mandatory, all SQTs and state tournament. It's all about kid safety, and if you follow the rules and you do what we ask you, it shouldn't be any problem. And so we want to give programs time to be able to get those funds ready to go.
And it is, those who don't know, some coaches didn't know this, it is a UIL exception. That helmet is an exception, so it can be used outside of school, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a non-restrictive equipment, so the soft shell helmet can be used during their time during the period, athletic period and stuff. So
schools can pay for it instead of the kids having to come out of pocket. The schools can pay for it, right?
There is some things you have to worry about because you can't use really school equipment for outside entities like 707. But I don't think there's going to be any pushback for keeping kids safe. Worst case scenario, you make the kids buy it, and it's theirs to keep. So I just think I'd rather spend $80 on a soft shell helmet or whatever the price of it is rather than, seeing a kid severely injured, and that's our primary focus.
You can do whatever you can. I mean, obviously football is never going to be 100% safe, but if you can take whatever steps you need to take to keep this kid safe, you guys can rest assured that's what you're trying to do, to keep the kids safe.
Yeah, and then being in the 7-on-7 so long now, actually the game is safer because the kids know how to play it. So when we first started, it's a football-related activity. It's not football, right? So we're not trying to knock each other out playing touch-pass football because really that's what it is, right? Two-hand touch. So the game has actually been safer because the kids know how to play it. So they're playing at a younger age, and the officiating is getting better and the regulation is getting better. But the game is safer. But we just want to make sure that we don't, we want to protect the most important part of our bodies, which is the brain and the head. So.
Coach, appreciate your time. Congrats on a great 2018 season, and good luck in 2019. And I guess maybe we'll see you at AT&T Stadium in December.
Hey, if I have my wish, that'll happen, but we're just 1 week at a time.
There you go. Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir.
Great job.